Hello, good afternoon to whoever is watching my video. Um, Today I just wanted to go over the PowerPoint I turned in for the last assignment. Um, this is basically going to go over the ethical analysis of using deepfakes for public service announcements. And my name is Sebastian Tuesta. I basically just wanted to break this PowerPoint down and then also discuss the goods, the good side of using deepfakes for PSAs, and then also the bad side. In my opinion, I think I side a little more with the negative side of it, but there is definitely some good to this. I just think the bad definitely outweighs the good. I think the side effects on the bad side of the ethics is it could get much worse than the good things. So for the first slide, well, this is the first slide, but for the first slide of information, this is ethics of action slide. We're testing the ethics of creating a deepfake of a trusted figure for a climate change PSA. Our analysis will use specific principles outlined in the Professional Association Computing Machinery, also known as ACM, Code of Ethics, and its detailed provisions. This is basically what I just said. We're just going to be testing both sides, seeing the good side, going into depth with the good side, and then also going into depth with the bad side. This is the first slide that breaks down the bad side of the ethics of using deepfakes for PSAs. The ACM code mandates to avoid harm. Using a person's likeness without consent is a fundamental harm to their free will. It treats them as a means to an end, setting a dangerous precedent for digital identity and consent. This is basically targeted towards the person that the deepfake would be imitating. It completely takes away all their free will and their choice of what they want to say. Because realistically, if you make a deep fake of somebody, you can make it so that it will say anything you want, whether that's something harmful or something positive. In my opinion, it doesn't matter whether it's harmful or positive. If you're doing this without the person's consent, you're kind of taking their voice away from them and saying whatever you want to say through them. I just don't think that's right. I think everyone should be able to say what they want to say when they want to. I don't think anyone should be forced to side with anything or say anything they don't agree with, which you can easily do now with these deepfakes. This next slide is honesty and trust. The code requires members to be honest and trustworthy. A deepfake is inherently deceptive. This deception, even for a good cause, severely damages public trust in media and institutions when discovered, creating prolonged societal harm that outweighs any short-term benefit. This is basically just like discussing what it's gonna do to culture in a longer term. If you made these deepfake PSAs and you don't tell anyone about it, and people buy into this deepfake, people actually believe it and think that the person saying these things is actually saying these things. Um, if this deception is discovered, then people are gonna lose trust for wherever the source of this PSA is coming from. People are no longer going to want to listen. Maybe next time someone real actually speaks and not just the deep fake, people are gonna instantly turn away no matter what it is, whether it's something that's really good for society. People are still gonna be very withdrawn, I guess. This is discussing more of the good side. Um, I put a picture of a Terminator. I know it, it has nothing to do with what I'm talking about, but I don't know. I just like that movie, and it's about AI. Here it says the immense threat of climate change could justify a deception if a deepfake PSA is the most effective way to spur global action and prevent widespread suffering. The significant benefit can morally outweigh the smaller harm of the lie. Um, this is an interesting one because it's kind of painting this point as a deepfake PSA basically being the only way to convince global action, which in my opinion, there's always another method, but let's just say hypothetically that this is the best way to spur global action. Um, yeah, this could be a very beneficial, even though it's still very deceptive and there's still a big lie in there. Yeah, it could definitely save a lot of lives. Not just save lives. In this case, it wouldn't really save lives, at least not at the moment. But long term, it could definitely save a lot of lives. It could help the earth and benefit us very in a very big way. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about this slide. I'm not gonna lie. I think this is definitely one of the weaker slides. I just think it's interesting to think about. Here we have a justification. From a purely results-based view, the action is ethical if outcomes are positive. If this specific deepfake saves millions of lives by driving policy change, then the positive consequence is so great that it justifies the deceptive method used. I actually spoke of this in the beginning of this video. I don't know if you remember, but I said that whether it's for a good cause or a bad cause, it's still kind of negative because it is a deception. Here it's kind of siding with the better side that yes, like if the results are very like positive, then that I guess that could kind of nullify the deceptive side of using a deepfake. It could kind of make up for using this method that's not very ethical at its core, but has a positive consequence. For the seventh slide, this is my final verdict. I kind of grouped up a bunch of points of views, I guess you could say, and this is my opinion. I think the action is unethical. Here it says the justifications are speculative, while the violations of consent and honesty are immediate and certain. Eroding foundational trust to build support is a self defeating strategy that causes harm to our society and ethical norms. So it's basically what we just talked about in the last slide and also what I said in the introduction. Um, I think I think nothing really justifies using this deceptive method. Even if it is a positive outcome, you're still you're still building that positive consequence on top of a lie. At its foundation, it is a lie because you're speaking with somebody else's identity and not telling anyone. Basically, just painting yourself as this powerful, because usually it's gonna be a powerful figure, maybe as like a president or a minister or something like, or a governor. You're painting yourself as this person just so people will, so you could get people's attention and then push the message that you want to push through them, which whether it's good or bad, it's never ethical because then you're kind of taking someone else's voice away, just like I said in the beginning. So yeah, it's never ethical. It's good that maybe sometimes it could have a positive outcome, but that doesn't really justify or take away the fact that it is still negative. An ethical alternative path forward. Here I put a picture from the movie iRobot. Um, Here it also it's a movie about AI, but I just put it because I don't know. I think the robots look kind of goofy. So does Will Smith. Here I say an ethical alternative is to obtain full informed consent from a public figure. A transparent campaign that openly uses this technology with permission achieves the same impact while upholding the ACM's core principles of honesty, trust, and respect for people. So yeah, this is I guess you could say this is a way to use deepfakes for PSAs in an ethical way, and that would be by informing the people beforehand that it is a deepfake. Um, I don't know. At that point, it kind of loses the purpose of having to use a deepfake. If you're going to be informing people that you're going to be using a deepfake for a PSA, I don't really understand why you wouldn't just say the announcement yourself if you're already telling people that the person speaking isn't actually the person on the screen. It's actually coming from you or whoever made the message. But this is the only way I could really justify using this method. So to end off the presentation, I hope you enjoyed what I talked about. I kind of just yapped about my my PowerPoint, and yeah, it's basically all I wanted to say. I also wish you luck on your project. Hopefully you get a good grade too. Thank you.